close to curse access to deep sea mining, consensus to security officials support the plan software. Level 25 tries to see the exploration and office, RM's control supply chain offers it. Use men also weapons and complex exploration become extraction 2085 US regulated. To observe and close to space security officials lacking use involvement. As security exploration license controls the military side for security of USC. And so have tried to ever on day-to-day basis. Abscess. This is key sites with the 24 countries and have to security response to US Canada laws to protect any site critical security on security and action means laws. Remaining two. Otherwise China live room linkage events or monopoly. In RM's country 20 transit to make her piece of the crouching capital China restrict site. HQ site clears is signal handler and I say pass on licenses official features advantage Beijing most active. Hundreds of the shape market China fisher version US hedgehog require resource conservation huge roles associated explain China's dominant role in critical land and supply chains. The plan gives the US 1 million square kilometers and wins the rhetorical battle over fuel. 24 Russian not recognized US owners against US to round 5 to 1 million square kilometers to another round. Impossible carpet about a Russian Chinese attempts to use those as a rule maker watching views to closer fighting as for law binding rating out at least over the accusation data disagreements illusion criticize the US attempts to exploit you closer to gap focus to charges hypocrisy critics undermine competition misses opportunity despite the licensees down the battle rhetorical battle further restrictions on critical minerals like lithium bauxite and copper are rapidly approaching couple tools to China critical minerals leave China aim to inflict greater pain China's capable being superhard materials will have their impacts eastern need semiconductor to inflict greater pain restricted lithium tungsten copper in coming years besides Trump slowed down Harker Japan creates opportunity for China to use this RMA monopoly for geopolitical aim Japan groups also 24 reaching operator database ensure control over export dominance of industry no accident control global availability of manual gross and actually rewarding my with both arguments concerns increase Beijing that sort of check for mining section and then fighting countries originally seek out supply chains only CBS competition is viable immediate ratification enables regulations sponsorship and alliance important 24 online Chinese mining processing seal and file West DC filters high 0% consensus focus on landing using new high temperature hold and all the deposit combined mining enable let's say define code 25 use our in close second resident influence over right ratification central membership enable room case also companies partner with allies Beijing roughly working to be the first to market codifying regulatory regime on those washing with the outside US underwater REMs are the going trade of energy independence also 21 energy independence means securing REMs use and reveals that the country refused to provide US gas to them independence selection by low carbon tech China Russian head external control 8% more battery finding and flow to use energy capital for crisis genocide there's some competition for resource by confident photo for Washington stay out that brings great power war up to Nike will shift for global architecture settings essential to China to energy for security China of cheap problems for reducing become aggressive energy dominance indispensable US agriculture China researcher Russia Hermes lab military energy self-sufficiency free military capacity focus on Africa and NACS energy dominance closer to developed military ties rise redown the lines of finding bombs doctrine sites and nuclear change dominance retracted consequences REM mobilization causes quick escalation Turkey and REM to compose the connection military sector return to escalation open confrontation between superpowers high and 60 sauce and civil war and cold and which countries willing it self-stock global good rich countries seriously need resources countries 6 years 12 to income the year United States US to look with a difference claim the United States not to become party to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea the shared spreading station outweighs that this global painful reversal and for valor and so means to restore outweighs the restore them as something just as universal not consensual to advance use credibility Russian Chinese extended in the Arctic and SES is in response to US hypocrisy extension removes the justification for rejecting in close tribunal rule and Japan 90 Russia exceed enterprise war policy Russia claiming CS creating conflict China claims SES expanding military asset use not to follow the she did not particularly join rights justification China fighting on the SES joining communicated resolution disputes ratification gives America sees the table to regulate maritime plays user 60 by joining US or Sandra Russia and Arctic sees the table how Arctic government should pursue dispute resolution including now members try to close most of the maritime issue US protocol since not a party becoming member against multi-article appearance of pro and piracy accession cement stable maritime US refer 24 90% econ plus and restrict covers both EU China increase of closest server authority and use critical challenge to close to advise no funding and social sustainable action diplomatic efforts trying to see lights and apply with dialogue to hold right line of rights and offer state threatening harm most side allows to counter test on opportunity for forces compel less effective option and stable close terms consequential escalation boundary training and rather security refine norms and rapid closure course this strategy harms the critical air retention high and falling so liner you the closure to bring station custody effects for slots and Persian Gulf severe Russia red but see president other sea value CC of coast and north under trauma component to indicate comments versus tech freedom sequence of adversaries and versatility is role more required protection to aggression escalating the conflict scenario one is the Arctic failure to see freeze and negative credibility with Russia that causes Arctic escalation and collapse of collective action that's the impact of Trafalgar as Baker 24 retro dropping in close past hour because you see CSA with US not party not ready on here the policy is ACS disputes about mediation circumvent procedures share quick practice right aim to protocols taking close around the mutual for hypocrisy foster solid military build up and hammer extending the CD's not participation before related just to teach stability and credibility look at slaves real test itself pattern objective allied interest I mean attacks on infrastructure environment political right wing close motion local government counter access just opportunities such as domestic capture diplomatic benefits Arctic is time for escalation due to Russian claims of the northern sea which are explicitly tied to declining faith in new closability but where you cannot alter nurse Arctic posture practices of the low intensity warriors is just in the Scotland and escalation perceiving larger NATO building vindication vulnerability on by propaganda narrative planning fall conditions including open confrontation receiving safely trade fears being bringing out attractive from NATO concerted borders, they are still not willingness to probe. Now, since the communication between Russia and Arctic heavily escalation, Russia cannot be forgetting ministry with salvage legal steps and starting to water to provide. Love to see Russia clearly violating you closer to passive forward assets or proven and starting to link you closer to fear of its circular Arctic expansion cause nuclear war with Russia, but clear 20 the Arctic side which political story Russia enters maritime. If police clash as to nuclear Putin possible to constellation clash, nature catastrophic spells, near truth, the SCS, death so great, and taxes are the most likely causing China. Workers when 24 hours of our high China service against Philippines, east to more likely than any other fluctuate, including how many Korean DQ flow to trace, letting percent taxes are less than closer to establish permanent present. Now they counter tax use rotary on like to make colder, treat not for sleep, increase the tax immediate and clear ratification, source alliances, and check sites against this major card. But for testing the fishery goods and activity, increase taxes based on the superior massive fleet on the station coast guard, enables law enforcement creating regularized present knowledge already residential Japan, load patrols for 15 years, Philippines, really containing American policy in the seas, illustrated but also an effective practices now, which is filters average change law. Certified poverty and eradication, the closer to the push, I suppose. I love benefits to U.S. to pursue decorative policies, yelling at me, good for environment, American self-exception, valuing rules to legal disregard, meaningful leadership, consent signal, renewed capabilities to bolster the space order, cause a quick and escalation craft, 24 China control water, so virtual peace, as far as the close grades and tax to maintain the rest of China, and so you emphasize China develop nuclear try force to be moderate against Philippines, moderate capability, increase confidence, sign coffees for distribute with the U.S., and certainly book potential use force to drive Philippines to Taiwan question basis, by to nuclear attacks on routine city, yes, very quickly because of high tension, zero involves for one China force reunification force to target by China, neo deployment state, Arctic war, nuclear. Actually, don't have time for that. I'm good for cross-section.
Okay. Wait, what was the last card that you didn't read?
I didn't read Ferron, which is like new diplomats, and I didn't read ratification is necessary, the last card. Also didn't read tech competitiveness at the end of the finish one.
The chronic card, right?
Yeah.
The chronic terminal?
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, cool. The first advantage, what is the plan? What does the plan do in terms of like Chinese mine or like U.S. mining? How does it increase?
Sure. So the ISA has 4 sites that they've designated to the United States. Because we haven't exceeded, 2 of those are gone. There are 2 remaining ones.
Wait, where'd they go?
They are no longer able to be accessed by the U.S. for the purposes of mining.
Why?
Because we haven't claimed it.
So they're just.
Yeah, the ISA controls those. They've said that there's no.
Controls those?
Well, they control access to like deep sea vent mining.
Yeah, they control access. So is it like a permit system that they distribute, that the ISA distributes?
Yeah. So it's basically like mining rights, which can obviously change. Like if like a ISA changes. Like,
so wait, so who has mining rights now?
Well, in the Clarion Krypton zone, which is the primary like area where we'd say the U.S. gets resources from, nobody has rights over those zones. If the U.S. exceeds the UNCLOS, it would gain access to that zone.
Nobody has rights over that?
Not over the Clipperton.
But that's where the U.S. gets them.
Yeah, that's where the U.S. would get it after we.
Okay, which card says that the rare earth minerals that are necessary for like energy independence lie within that site?
Our evidence, the one that cites the Clipperton zone says cobalt, manganese, nickel are all in those areas.
Cobalt, manganese, nickel. Okay. Are within that area.
Hold more cobalt, manganese, and nickel than all known land deposits combined. There's also like the
wait. Does that card doesn't say it's that's in that area?
No. Quote: the Clarion Clipperton zone, the Pacific, is the main area of economic interest, estimated to hold more cobalt, manganese, and nickel than all known.
Okay, which card says that there's no permit that exists right now?
There? Sure. Like the Lu 24 evidence says that the ISA U.S. is in the party, lost 2 of our 4 designated seabed sites.
Oh wait, sorry, which card?
Lu, the second card on the advantage, and then obviously like the card that mentions the Clipperton zone Borden says that because we haven't exceeded, China's overtaking us in terms of.
Okay, that makes sense. The credibility advantage. How does the plan solve Arctic like?
Sure. The reason Russia will leave UNCLOS soon because they view it as a hypocritical treaty since the U.S. has not acceded. That causes negative credibility loops. Allies don't trust Russia. We don't trust Russia. They don't trust us. They escalate in the Arctic because they're trying to probe and expand the gray zone to like cause more conflict. Regardless of that.
So why does Russia's presence within the treaty solve escalation?
Yeah, because we can communicate and cooperate with them.
We can communicate and cooperate.
Yeah, because we're given a seat at the table, which is what Glazer says.
Okay, how do we communicate and cooperate with Russia via the like?
UNCLOS has several methods. First is tribunal rulings. We could discuss whether we have members on the tribunal. If we exceed, Russia does too. We can communicate our disputes and resolve them through dispute mechanisms.
Why are dispute mechanisms key?
Because Russia views them. Okay, so Russia's denying our claims to the extended continental shelf, I believe it's the name. They think that because we're claiming those areas and putting the more resources there, we're like stealing their land. If we have like dispute mechanism and can designate whose land. That doesn't seem to be an
issue of dispute mechanisms.
Those dispute mechanism can determine whose land that ECS is actually.
Oh, so it's land disputes. Okay.
Yeah, in the Arctic.
It's 2 off the case, top down.
Advantage 1, advantage 2, right?
Yeah. Okay. But I'll like signpost specific scenarios because there are like multiple scenarios per page. Can you understand?
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Wait, the stock has 3 up. It's supposed to be that, or?
I probably won't get to the third.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Hold up. Otherwise, I will totally move. Freaking sick with this guy. Okay. I'm good.
Long-term economic goals necessitate uncontested deep mining dominance and technological innovation. Those are high now for China. Smith, 1216. China's economic development required deep sea mining. Resource abuse, resources means enhance the role in supply chain investment, research, useful military application investment. Push local companies expand activity, companies down the mining, investment in ocean and benefits, exemplary progress in marine sectors. China has a leader in production, deep sea mining with fuel economic goals. The plan reverses that CCP leaders have placed major bets on it. TC 24. No rules for nascent mining industry until untold while China positioning itself the role as essential rule makers, a party to the convention. China shaped laws. The Chinese leaders place major bets on economic value to American son of members. China only heavyweight some rules. Mining innovation which will rivalry with US. Innovation and growth tempers expectation weakness for policymakers. 24. China strong for forcing economic recovery markets, wider foreign investors, high quality growth, make tech innovation, new point of growth, willing to collaborate with the country. China import expected 32 trillion next 5 years. Indicators the world seconds, the biggest economy bright side are offering relief to policymakers with weakness sector mining. The perception of economic incompetence sparks lash out and leapfrogging Beckley. 24. If China uses force against Taiwan, Brazil could be war with US fight between nuclear armed giants for Germany, Helmand wars in Ukraine, Middle East, and world consumer conflict to Eurasia. She is amassing planes, missiles, and the largest buildup in equity stockpiling fuel to reduce vulnerability, taking conflict in Eurasia becomes increasingly violent in the Philippines, Japan, India, and Taiwan. Risk of wars increased by 27. China's economy struggles. Observers, including intelligence analysts, China might turn aggressive to distract attention from regional block in while it still can. Next up. Counterplan, the United States, I'll send the words United States after, must revise the United States-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty, define gray zone aggression as armed attacks, increase security cooperation with the Philippines, leverage the replicator program against Chinese incursions on the Spratly Islands, respond to Chinese incursions on the Spratly Islands with diplomatic pressure and economic sanctions, pass the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act to streamline revenue production domestically. Group 1 solves their evidence 1 C Grossman. 24. Revise the treaty reflect gray zone, could probably gray zone activity count as armed attack. China may think violating more encompassing clause. Clarification signal Washington considers attack on Philippines. Direct results one way of altering deterrence of basic high naval pitch patrols, enhancing deterrence solution via lubricator programs, swarming targets and crew systems, keep accountable professional reset escalation land recruiting liquid fishing great zone actions, other area signal, cost imposing cost in deterrence bolster alliance through expansion, cooperation exercise help in military, plan 2 solves REM scenario and avoids deep sea mining. Cause 24. China ban exports on minerals, permitting costly to national security. China weaponized supply chains. We could be producing a challenge on geology, US persistent resources, lack of comprehensive policy to resources supply chains, weaponizing China's weaponizing minerals, and reliance on China make it efficient, strong coordination between agencies to shorten timelines. Involvement active agencies lead to and the needless delays. Industry faces opposition from leaders permitting is onerous and weaponized by activists for security. China will strangle supply. National Defense Authorization Act would require the Pentagon to consult with the land managers permitting system not duplicated, create certainty preventing land and air and water. Next, the case. Mining. Weaponization cutoffs of the status quo appears in 12.3. China said we can be banning the export of rare earth minerals. The US sale of gallium, germanium, antimony, and super hard materials will be halted immediately. Deep sea mining cancel critical minerals. Doesn't 24. Lithium and rare earth minerals or limited others are not available in the deep sea. Only the 2 metals produced DCSM is capable of cobalt and nickel for which uncertain supply supply is expected unlikely to have an impact on supply for copper, manganese, demand copper. The sea mining can only supply 2% of land-based production of manganese. Resources forecast to meet demand for minerals from land are likely to be constrained to 2050. Recent suggests nether cobalt and nickel likely to be risk. Cobalt prices fell by 25%, nickel by 45%, lithium 70%. Energy dependent independence is at an all-time high thanks to the shale boom record 23. US produced more energy than we consume for the first time since 1940. Shale boom unleashed oil and gas. Imports have fallen 75% and towards 10 negative. Exports grew from 0.61 quadrillion. Cut the card at quadrillion. 1AC Silva says the plan achieves a green transition because quote the amount of minerals needed for energy much greater than those conventional facilities. Concede the plan powers a green transition, otherwise that transition is inevitable. Domestic hydrocarbons lower prices and unlock geopolitical advantages. Mills 22. The only path to lower prices unlinking for Russia is increased hydrocarbons. US holds a greater potential increase production when generate government revenues, increase geopolitical power and save the world trillion fuel hostile political will to force an energy path to transition not feasible and it's dangerous. The demands of hydrocarbons no longer be used energy emerge from climate focus and objectives. Strong domestic energy reduces Russian influence and enhances geopolitical stability. Walk-ins 24. US has been laser focused on energy, wanting to effectively destroy Russia's LNG, keep Chinese destroys continuing range of development of key projects. Future energy and infrastructure LNG becomes important to bring increasingly insecure world and zero sum. Global supplies will be exposed to supply south of Russia, expected to Europe to do nothing. EU concerned only about ensuring the continuity of gas, Russian oil, and all costs like acquisitions and hostility south. US established supplies from elsewhere and never gained the EU to just roll with the face of Russian aggression due to over-reliance Russian energy. Few reasons why US continues the LNG. Cut the card at LNG. Weakness, green lights, Russian military aggression, extinction, Freeman 24. Russia military budget is high and growing high oil prices. The economy allows community to invest in war machine, development tactical nukes as well as lower threshold nukes. Military build up to organize and fight toward high intensity wars. Great funds available for investment capabilities, making high costs. Affecting military Russia sustained expenditure hills national resources, willing to sustain high levels of spending. Spending means Kremlin is massive, vast and asymmetric nuclear arsenal. The maritime norms, unstable maritime norms, but Iran and North Korea. The plan obviously does nothing to solve their evidence. Isn't reverse causal. It says that states are doing things in violations of UCLOS. Not that reinvigorating UCLOS is sufficient to resolve the conflict or prevent things like Strait of Hormuz closures. The bottom of their evidence concludes naval hard power is necessary, not soft international law. The plan does not affect China. Only cooperates with ILAW if it's beneficial. Otherwise, they just ignore it. ILAW 23. ILAW must not challenge the legitimacy, accessibility, support, the protection of state interests in international arena. Right, China must be by law. Otherwise, China reinterpret violating law. For instance, not ratified ILO as conventions contradict socialist system. Russia just leaves if they disagree, which means they can't solve any of their scenarios. 24. The issue of denunciation could have short is understudy chairman of Parliament Committee chose news. We want to continue with detriment. Putin says we're no longer believe in their role. 64% of it belongs to Russia. UNCLOS is useless, it's unenforceable, and viewed as non-binding. 22. UNCLOS is clearly comprehensive, fails to achieve results, continuing non-compliance with member states with provisions. In practice, non-compliance and unenforceability make a de facto non-binding agreement as a decipher. As empirical evidence in 63 and 39 years, there are significant patterns of non-compliance. The Arctic scenario, no terminals to the laundry list, we get new answers when they do. Credibility, international maritime law is 0 goes to 21. Skepticism about no-dialogue cooperation, international organizations, sovereign equality, and claim that the U.S. plays an essential role. 15 years since born out of skepticism, ILO moves in cycles and 2000 collapse 9/11. Between the Western Islamic Organization, war of Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and Iran, financial crisis, European crisis, Iraq, refugee crisis, Brexit, through the UN to turmoil, pandemic and recession, these crises, redeeming and happiness with the international governance and people's nationalist movements to make inroads. No Arctic war, Veshik 24. Research on clear evidence of cooperative behavior. Arctic conflicts not predicted. Rivalry factors increased non-actors. Interest in escalating military growth and not Peacetime communication has not been interrupted. Cut the card. Interrupted. The SES. It's stable. The SES narrow. It's stable now. Code 24. Asia and China adopted guidelines and code of conduct. SES initial desire to stabilize relations for intensive ballooning of conflict. At least the SES. Beijing views the code of demonstration of Georgia war, not war. Revisionism is true for China. Fontaine 24. China's defense budget is growing. World's largest state expanding military bases. Ambitions on Ukraine. U.S. expanding break type active aggressive SES framing. Warships on safe intercepts. U.S. aircraft. U.S. aircraft warplanes crossing Taiwan. Safe past week shift away narrow. Leaders are claiming historical prerogative. Cut the card of prerogatives. That means that they can't solve because China would never live.
Okay, 135 left. I'll send it out. It'll be, so just case top down. Let me just put it. I'll put it in the screenshot first. So it's gonna be case top down, which is like maritime mining, maritime norms, Arctic, SES, the advantage counterplan, the DA.
Wait, sorry. Case top down.
Yeah, case top down, advantage counterplan, DA.
Let me just download the line here.
Yeah.
And she gets some Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, Lizzie and Roshan, you're good. Yeah. Okay.
Mining 1C1 is wrong. Banning is not the key. They're not banning the key ones right now. The absols because it mines more from the clipper zone, which is more than sufficient because it provides cobalt, malt, and manganese, and nickel 1C2, G6 strong. It provides the minerals listed above. Plus, we haven't scanned all of the clipper zone, which means that there's still minerals left that we don't have access to. 1AC3 shale is down now. Countries are not buying ours because it isn't clean enough. That's 1AC carbon. And European LNG imports are struggling. They're putting Russia now. Patterson, aiding stability and victory supply risk letters. Fixed size market trend, low Asian demand. Introduced for Euro low system. Starting Ukraine imports increase their total import of volumes are down 7%. Effective U.S. leadership requires securing REM solves energy independence. That was one issue. Balta and Lee dropped on percent. Fighting for decision process towards the cascades long-term security risk given Ukraine conflicts across the Middle East. Treasury that CS in track with energy demand says wrong Mr. Wrong talk about reliability of U.S. as an exporter. The other countries will solve your all in fund 1124. The U.S. main supply is Norway investing in renewable energy. The EU produces more from wind than gas. LNG is coming from Qatar. Maritime North advantage 1 yes, solvency the plan. It gives us a seat at the table, which enables us to cooperate with allies, China and Russia, to enable our navy to protect LNG tankers and other imported naval vessels. When C2 and 3 are wrong, China follows and Russia follows on. They despise Uniclose right now because they view America as hypocritical for not being a part of it. If we listen to their claims and they listen to ours, we're able to discuss and resolve issues with them. And either way, we don't need to win this. We cooperate with allies, which are currently part of Uniclose, which is sufficient to deter them. That's Glacier. The evidence says the team of Russia and China are rational, which means they, even if they act in their own self-interest, their self-interest is to cooperate with us. 1 is 4 yes, salty. It enables us to discuss and cooperate with allies and enemies, which is explained above. This is the card is about the SAS code, which means it doesn't seem U.S. successor to Arctic advantage. When Arctic scenario, 1 yes terminal, it goes nuclear because when Unique wants to escalate near Arctic because bad things are going in Ukraine and use nukes. That's the only way to resolve it. That was 1C clear. 1C2 credibility is not our scenario. It's unique about Russia escalating in those areas because they don't view our claims as legitimate, which is green by how they're increasing basing and operations right now. 1C3 marked to really have warrant. The impact was explained above. SCS scenario 1C1 doesn't seem Philippines, China expanding there, approved by the Coast Guard, expanding there, and how they claim more and more land of the Philippines. Plus the fact that U.S. has strengthened its alliances. Turning the revisionism of Uniclose as the North Star for global oceans leadership in place every international maritime dominance and great power competition defaming. But for Uniclose changes place discussion take place U.S. closely the opportunity to be LOS so in the favor bigger for the states that are trade said ISR and UMB nuclear vessel high orbit LOS challenges U.S. advocating seat at the table LOS advocates security trade and institutions are central area of GPC committee supervised maneuver to church vision U.S. position economic similar laws volatile ratification right foundation which is some offer predictability ratification open value sir leadership U.S. non-membership Uniclose imperials naval power cross-cut 2020 would advance every ocean interest of economic military interest redacts of an navigational regime is battle first president Alice Committee global trade president for forces secures major interests over resources including railroads to AI trying to move across the state exclusive claims stock and see to field growth and entire world except finding only lawful through ISA use companies acting allowed to do so without legal Chinese curb checks LS to market cables internet trafficking marine and fire fisheries and research the advantage compound place 1 through 3 don't solve China expanding military presence in the Philippines right now through the Coast Guard because they fear increased presence the counterpart field fiats and more presence and more cooperation with the Philippines which results in escalation and it's our scenario playing for this assault land is irrelevant because there are too many roadblocks besides the regulations that the counterpart solves there's only a deep seabed mining which controls more REMs than all of land-based deposits combined for solid conditionality is a bidding issue for such and clash of one intermediates and strategic natures which are the core strategy to pressure the two largest assaults could be part of China economy day 1 uniqueness overwhelms the plan doesn't stop China from mining and all one is the evidence indicates they're too far ahead for the link about it Smith says the controlling 3/4 of the market inserted 2 monopolies they don't have evidence that they're key to energy dominance with the REM scenario on the absence they're bad for energy independence 3 non-unique China still hasn't gotten DSM out there on health 3 manufacturing G7 is more ground to make up the US and getting 12 million square miles compared to China's 100,000 plus whose jurisdiction could get heated in 5 other EEZs they thought would occur 24 countries where 60 claims on seabed producing mining China has 5 sites regardless no Taiwan invasion doesn't influence our scenario because our scenario is specifically about Philippines escalation emitters only one Michi is set to invade Missouri and calculus current situation China view Taiwan is political now military consistent preferences and church rather than compelling unification even rising tensions there's little LG sanctions prepping innovation he's never set a deadline mark card at deadline back up to the energy independent stuff. Renewables and energy efficiency improvements solve Hunter and Durbanco 24th and just new world created sales Europe carried on gas exported was just regarding machine renewable energy winterization efficiency. Mark Hunter and Romanco on the case at efficiencies. Marked Medeiros on the disad at deadline. Let me check if there's anything else marked.
Wait, what was the first thing you marked?
On case that it was tagged renewables and efficiency improvements solved.
Yeah.
Honore and Romanco.
Okay.
It was marked at efficiencies. And then on the DA, the Medeiros regardless no Taiwan invasion, that was marked at deadline. And let me check to see if I marked anything else.
Wait, Midor? There's no Midor. Which DA? On
the DA.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I think you deleted it.
Wait, which one?
It's the regardless no Taiwan invasion. That one marked at deadline. That one. Yeah, those were the only cards I marked.
Okay.
I'll stir card.
What was 1 or 1 and 2 on the DA?
Uniqueness, it overwhelms. The plan doesn't stop China from mining, and all 1 is the evidence indicates that they're too far ahead for the link to matter. Smith says they're controlling 3/4 of the market, inserted. And the second response was monopolies. I'm not sure if you caught that one.
Yeah.
You want that? Monopolies don't have evidence that they're key to energy dominance, but the REM scenario on the app says they're bad for energy independence. Sir Doc.
No.
Order.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, the DA, Chinese mining DA, econ DA. The counter plan. The first advantage, second advantage.
You said is that first?
Yeah, just that first.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Chinese economic collapse that ways it causes policymakers to start diversionary now. Diversionary wars to distract from domestic struggles that ways their scenarios were constrained because rational actors have incentive to de-escalate. But Chinese leaders that are vying for influence and for trying to retain their political position to have no incentive to de-escalate, which means that there is 100% likelihood that they will escalate now. Time frame, the immediate perception of planning causes immediate reversal of Chinese policy because in a desperate grab and attempt to retain political power, the leaders will inevitably start a diversionary war immediately. The gap is structural and takes decades to solve because things like Arctic cooperation, cohesion, cohesion to deep sea mining, etc. Those all take decades. And time frame outweighs the only left one to liquefy another day. Intervening actor solves their impact and decrease the probability to solve each one of their internal links. That weighs on magnitude because it causes immediate nuclear war. The defense is about Taiwan invasion, which is not our scenario. It's about domestic adventurism, which escalates nuclear war, and they must go nuclear, which was conceded. Now the line by line 1AR1 is uniqueness overwhelms. The plan won't stop. Our evidence is incredibly specific. China has stopped rem mining. China has increased rem mining in the status quo. They have a monopoly. They currently have a monopoly on deep sea minerals, which is their evidence. All of their cards say that China has the ability to control supply chains of rare earth minerals. And the plan definitely reverses that. The link was conceded. They conceded that all the ISA permits, which is 1AC cross, gets redistributed from China to the U.S. independently. They conceded that the perception of the plan is sufficient, which frames out the rest of their offense. It frames out 1AR2, which is the monopolies argument, because even if it's true that other people people have contracts that is irrelevant insofar as our scenario is about China being able to weaponize, about Chinese policymakers thinking that their entire structural program of economic resilience via deep sea red mining is reversed. Now that 103 is non-unique, hasn't got the DSM off the ground. This card is absurd. It says that China has been particularly active, which is a negative argument. It also says that the U.S. is irrelevant because Chinese policymakers have premised their strategy off of it, which means that the reversal of their ability to get access to these rare earth minerals via the redistribution of permits is exactly what destroys now. They say other easy thumps. I don't know what you think what they think this card says. It says the Whitaker evidence says that countries are rushing to stake claims on the seabed. Yes, they are. Guess what? Permits have already been distributed to China. Other countries don't thump because China knows they have enough of dominance on the rare earth mineral supply chain because the U.S. does not have permits. It is not part of the International Seabed Authority, which is the one thing that the app reverses, which is when you see cross, you cannot let them get out of this. Counterpoint. Not going for planks 1 through 3, but I will explicitly concede the line that says of their deficit that says that seabed mining controls the majority of it, which is the link to the DA. Now I'll answer conditionality counter if we get souls their offense. They have to answer the code. They have to answer the counterpoint anyways, but to get their offense but not ours because it would provide a balance between negative flex and strategic thinking without overcorrecting towards the other side. Kind of is good. One negative flex key to fairness. One of your sandbags key distinctions. F against plain choice. Personalized words. Advantage yours. Live bias. If the prep time or ground is reactionary. The negative bifurcates the prep between every different app. 2 ways on reversibility. Persuasive 2 error can recover time crunch 1 error, but the 2 error can't recover if the stuck with the non-competitive counterpoint, or the F is super unpredictable straight turns. If both doesn't solve, the F can stick us. The counterpoint means it decreases our flexibility because they can't use their infinite prep to stick us with unstrategic positions. They'll say other things, check knight flex, but those don't answer a specific warrant by F rep advantage. We should be stuck with anything in the 1 and C2. Argument innovation debaters are risk averse because they like to stay comfortable strategies to win, which is kind of is key to incentivized experimentation that turns into clash because going in depth on the same issue is an educational mix to be at sale on a 5-month USC topic. So try to for innovating new arguments. Dispo doesn't solve because fear of frustration. This incentivized new positions. They'll say if it's in a good position, we should be ready to defend it. Doesn't assume prep asymmetry because the only way to know how viable a position is by testing it in round because we don't know the F answers in round strat skew. Straight turning that benefit solves. If we're straight turning the counterpoint, they'd have to restart anyway, so it doesn't cause unique skew. No God-given right to a straight turn. One kind of solves our interrupt solves contradictions. They can't isolate what actual abuse occurs. Now, no explanation of dispo people in LD choose arbitrary conditions, which is even worse and unpredictable. Can't set a stable norm, which outweighs energy independence. Look, the winner just did not extend a terminal to energy independence. They didn't explain a reason why it causes war, which means there's no independent offense here. The LNG struggling now doesn't assume new increase in exports, which are evidence post-states energy independence independently does not escalate. They've conceded that interdependencies is a reason and a warrant for de-escalation. Now the maritime law scenario, revisionism, and China and Russia are both revisionists, which means they won't just blindly abide by American international law. The hypocrisy stuff is irrelevant because Obviously, this is Russian posturing. Russia wouldn't just throw their hands up and if the U.S. were to suddenly just ratify the UNCLOS reverse decades-long structural revisionism and just say that they will cede their claim to the Arctic. That's obviously untenable, and it should start very, very low. The same thing with China. They're shot now, which means that they will. They're shot now. Allies now. They say allies are sufficient to solve. There's no internal link between allies solving Arctic disputes. Their internal link is why Russia and the U.S. go to war, and why Russia and the U.S. and the Arctic has Arctic disputes. The rationality stuff equally applies to them. Is also a reason they de-escalate. Now the Arctic stuff proper. There's no escalation. They've conceded there's mutual incentive to de-escalate within the Arctic specifically. They've also conceded that Russia does not abide by any international ruling of the Arctic Council or anything that the U.S. says in the Arctic. That is not because of hypocrisy. That is a structural claim about the way that Russia is revisionist and has structural claims in the Arctic, which is one AC evidence. They've staked their claim there precisely because they need it for a particular strategic reason, which is in line with their goal of revisionism and dominance more broadly. Now the SES scenario. The plan emboldened Chinese revisionism makes war more likely. UNCLOS subversion is irreversible. States have already coalesced around Chinese and Russian interpretations of international law. Ratification can't reverse those interpretations. It's perceived as the U.S. signing onto them. It ties the U.S. to following rulings of biased international courts, which risk upsetting customary law. The offense can only go one way. UNCLOS can never bind China. The card that they read my aff back at me. Guess what? It doesn't have a warrant. That's why I stopped reading those two cards. There's no reason why ratification would cause those, but ratification binds us to that interpretation of international law, which decreases flexibility. U.S. ratification won't make China follow UNCLOS, which was our revisionism argument. The framing issue is that joining UNCLOS can only be worse than the status quo. Customary law favors the U.S.
Okay, 135. Okay, orders the mining scenario, the SCS scenario, the China VA. Okay, are all three charges good?
Okay. REM weaponization was not contested by the 1AC, which is why the 1 didn't have to extend the terminal for it because it was just dropped. They've conceded the tertiary evidence and the abdu evidence with which say that great power war would only happen if China gains the possibility to cooperate with our allies over things like REMs, which increases the motive for them to actually go to war. That terminally outweighs their scenario for China escalation. We're winning defense on the dis side that says that China has no means nor motive to escalate now, but if allies shifted towards China as a result of REM weaponization, that would be the only way for where Xi would actually have the motive to escalate. That terminally outweighs, I will concede, the China war outweighs on the DA. Our scenario is the only where for China to escalate because in the status quo, they don't have the means, nor do they have the allies behind them. Whereas which means that there's only a risk that the plan stalls because it increases renewable access for the United States, which is sufficient to prevent REM weaponization. They didn't contest any of the solvency here. The only warrant they said was there's no terminal. Obviously, I extended, and I didn't need to extend that because the ones he didn't contest it. The energy independent stuff is relevant because they've dropped our terminal. Jersey uniquely says that all of the 18 times where REMs or energy independence broadly shifted to another power war ended in 16 of those. It outweighs, it cites statistics and analysis from the past, which is the most predictable for whether or not war would occur in the future. Now, the hypocrisy / SES scenario, they dropped that the Philippines are uniquely escalatory now, specifically because China fears our posture right there. It's because they don't know why we're expanding to the region, which is why they're extending Coast Guard presence there. We have explanatory part that explains why China is expanding, which means that there's only a risk of the plan solves by giving us a seat at the table as we're 1 Glacier, which enables us to communicate the reasons why we're expanding to the region and maybe pull back from the Philippines, which is the only way for to solve. The 1 the tuner just does not answer the warrants from 1 Glacier, even if it's a few years old. It's the only one that does analysis about the Philippines uniquely. Also, 1 Grossman indicates that the reason why China is escalating the SES is because they view the U.S. as not having any. Is because they view the U.S. as denying their claims there, which the plan solved because it means that the U.S. has to exceed and accept China's claims there, just and could debate about them about whether or not they get the entirety of the Philippines, which we see in the table solves. Now, the DA, the tuner just doesn't understand how the ISA works. The Claritin Clipperton Zone belongs to the United States. China cannot access it. We are given 150 million square kilometers, which is what it says when Air Hamilton. China has 900,000. Those do not get traded off by the plan. That's just not how the UNCLOS works. Those don't get traded off. China has their stuff. We have ours. The plan just enables us to do more deep sea mining. It doesn't prevent China from doing their own deep sea mining, which means they still get their strong economy because they can still mine in the ocean. This argument was just not contested by the tuner. The only argument they had here was that China's increasing REM is in the status quo is their argument, but remember, they don't have a link that explains why after the plan and after the U.S. claims the Clipperton Zone, which is something that China is not mining, they somehow get access. The time frame such a link turns case analysis. They didn't do any turns case analysis. I did the probability weighing at the top. The probability should control the direction of time frame because only we have evidence that explains why China knew go to war. Now, finally, no China war absent them having allies on the side. Middle it's a structural claim about Xi. Their impact evidence is about Taiwan. The first line is about Taiwan. They've dropped their Xi does not have the incentive nor anxiety and does not feel anxiety about Taiwan right now because he doesn't have the support to do so. The plan prevents it for that because it prevents our allies from going to him.
Good debate.